November 4, Bravo, Kilowatt, Charlie. November 4, Bravo, Kilowatt, Charlie.
Roger, Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And what's the name there?
The name's Brandon, and I'm in southeast Georgia, just about an hour northwest of Savannah.
Oh, Roger that, sir. And what radio are you running?
I'm running I just got it this weekend. It's a IC7300 to an NFED 70-foot line going up into about. I'm also running a Heil PR40 microphone, and I'm running barefoot.
Roger, Brandon. Okay, let's do a quick setup on that 7300 if you would like. It starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. Did you say you just got that radio?
I did. I got it secondhand. I got it on Sunday.
Roger, Roger. Well, do you know where your compressor control is?
I do, and I have it at 3.
Okay, move it to 4. I'm sorry. Leave it. Yes, 3 is correct. And then, what is your mic gain out of curiosity?
My mic gain at the moment is 8.9.
All right. I tell you what. Let's move to the ALC. Do you know how to bring that up?
Just by manipulating the mic gain, correct?
No. This what we want to look at is your ALC meter. It's a meter and then something. You have 3 or 4 options on the meter movement, and we're looking for ALC.
I'm not aware right now. My ALC, just so you know, is about it's almost 75% of the peak. So I'm about 25% under. 50 to 25% below peak, so 50 to 75%.
Roger, that's excellent. That's exactly where you want to be. So the thing I would suggest now would be to go, if you know how, to go to your equalization, your tone control. Do you know how to get to there?
Yes, sir. I'm looking at it now.
Well, you're a quick learner, only having that radio one day. All right, on tone control, can you tell me what your bass and treble readings are?
Yes, sir. My bass is at 0, and the treble is +4.
Excellent. I would go with that. I think you're beautiful there. You're nice. And tell me the one thing you like about your radio in about 15 seconds.
Well, number one thing is it gets me on the air. I think any radio should be happy with it. Being able to talk with like-minded people is a great thing. Second being, I like the menu settings on it, how easy it is to go through the menus. I think it in July, late June, early July, and it's very, very easy to run. It seems to work great. So far, making a lot of really interesting contacts on it since I got it just short of a week ago.
Roger that. You're using the supplied stock hand mic?
No, sir. I'm using a Heil PR40. I used to do podcasting. So it was a microphone that I used in podcasting. Oddly enough, I don't know a whole lot about audio, but I thought that it would work with the radio, and so I ordered the microphone cable for it, and I ordered a foot switch. I do have the desk mic. that was with it when I bought it. But I wanted to try this out. A little concerned that the radio wouldn't drive it because it needs good power supply to drive the microphone. But it seems to be working. You're the judge of that, of course.
Roger that, roger that. Well, you know, we have on the equipment side, we do a lot of voice processing, but there's another thing too. Let me take care of this telephone call. I'll be right back. There's another thing too. Let me take care of this telephone call. I'll be right back.
Roger.
Oh, yes. Well, India calling again with the greatest opportunity. Brandon, what I was going to say is we also have a game that sometimes we play, and that is we look at the modulation meter, the output meter, as we speak, and what we want to do as we speak is try to keep the needle on the modulation meter up in the sweet spot, like at 100%. And we can do that through two ways. We can speak at a given rate, maybe a little bit faster than normal, just a tad faster than normal. And also, as far as the words are concerned, you know, we're concentrating on trying to be each word in the same amplitude as the other. So actually we're doing our own processing with our human voice, and the whole idea is to keep that audio level up, you know. And if you speak word for word, you know, you don't have quite the output as you do if you're speaking, you know, a little bit more rapidly, not drastically, but just a little faster, and you know, also the words. And the more you look at the meter as you speak, you will develop a relationship from the standpoint of seeing your voice on the meter, and you know, over a period of time, you'll realize what works and what doesn't as far as keeping your amplitude up on your output meter or your power meter or whatever it might be. Roger. Or your power meter or whatever it might be. Roger.
Roger, yeah, so basically I need to work on trying to keep the same modulation that I'm putting into my microphone to hang up the meter and keep it up into the peaks as often as I can without getting too slow, which is kind of hard for a southerner like me. Over.
Yes, sir, I realize that. You know, I think the southerners tend to think about what they want to say more than northerners. Or looking at it another way, there is a rate progression as you move from north to south. And, you know, it's just an observation. It doesn't mean anything one way or the other, you know. It's just that that's the way it is. And, of course, as you come down through the Carolinas, sometimes it's, you know, dialects do play a certain part there, too, as far as being able to comprehend what one is saying, particularly in adverse radio conditions. There's a gentleman, I think it's Sam, who has a heavy, well, I would say Australian accent. Of course, it could be British also, but gosh, it is so thick. I love to talk with him, but the first time I spoke with him, it took us about 15 minutes to figure out what his call sign was. Roger? Took us about 15 minutes to figure out what his call sign was. Roger?
Roger, yeah, I've experienced the same a few times as well, and in different, you know, it is what it is. You know, that's to me is to be able to have a conversation with somebody that has a different way of speaking, for lack of better term. So it's very interesting in nature altogether, but great, man. I appreciate you. I've been watching your videos for a while now, and you actually helped out my Elmer several weeks ago, and he reminded me about that last night. So I said, well, I'm going to try to get on and see if I can let the master tell me how my radio is sounding with this other microphone. And I'm looking forward to watching it on YouTube later.
Roger, Brandon. Well, I just finally worked myself down to my Georgia SDR, and you're really sounding good down there, too. Usually, you know, an SDR in someone's own state, they usually don't sound very good because, you know, our transmissions are moving by skywave, and, you know, when you have somebody like maybe 12 miles apart, they can hardly copy each other because the skywaves are not reciprocal in that point, and ground wave is they're right at the you know, the further extremes from ground wave. So it's just amazing, you know, that you got somebody, a buddy 12 miles apart, that you have to get a relay from California.
Roger. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm a new ham, so I'm very intrigued by all that stuff, and fascinating, and it's been a lot of fun to learn and to try to understand, and it is very, very interesting, to say the least.
Roger, Brandon, but you do have the radio to go wandering through the world. And that 7300 is one of the best companions that you could possibly have for doing your exploring, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. My Elmer loaned me his ICOM 718 for me to get started until I could get my hands on my own radio, and got lucky enough to find this one for sale. It was only a couple months old, and I already had this microphone laying around collecting dust, so I'm really, really happy with it. I've made a lot of Qsos with it, and I really enjoy being able to see the waterfall. As a new hand, it kind of helped me to understand the whole, you know, lower sideband 3 kilohertz, upper sideband 3 kilohertz, upper sideband going on at once. I can see that, and I can understand it by seeing versus just, you know, reading about it and all. But it's a fascinating radio, and I'm really glad that I've got my hands on it.
Yes, sir. Now I'll give you some suggestions. It has a 3-position bandpass filter. You want to run that in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. You want to run that 7300 in the 100 to 2900 bandpass. And matter of fact, I suggest that you take all 3 of your bandpass options and make them 100 to 2900, so you can't run that radio in any other mode but 100 to 2900 bandpass. Now, as far as the receiver goes, I would suggest you run that receiver in the filter 1 position. That is a no filter position, and in the number 1 mode, it will have a frequency response all the way down to 100 cycles. And if, just out of curiosity, I might mention that if you might be inclined as to really want to hear what really is happening on the transmission, you're not going to find that in just the speaker inside that 7300. There's not enough cumes to really accurately display or hear the frequencies that are transpiring. So what you might want to do is get that audio outside of the 7300 by way of the the speaker jack, and then if you happen to go by Walmart and pick up yourself a LabTech, I forget what the system is, but it's 2 satellite speakers and a subwoofer, and the whole thing is like $40. Unbelievable cost, you know, cheap, but does a great job with that subwoofer. You'll get those frequencies down to 100 cycles, which that 7300 is capable of doing. And, you know, for $40, you just can't hardly, you know, beat that. And just that will be the point of being able to hear precisely what's going on as far as people's transmissions. Roger?
Roger, yeah. Thanks for the suggestion. I'll definitely look into that. So, a question about that. Using headphones, could I get the same sort of result on a decent set of headphones into the headphone jack? A decent set of headphones into the headphone jack, or would it be better go with an external speaker system?
Well, I think the external speaker, because you have then a perspective. I think you do not have the same perspective as you listen through earphones as versus listening through a speaker system. The other thing is that when you hit transmit, you have the option of getting your audio back into your earphones, and I think that sometimes makes people speak a little timidly because they're hearing their voice come back, and also sometimes there is audio leakage from your earphones to your microphone, and that's a degradation of your audio signal, because the motto here is be all that you can be, and if you have things that are distracting from your being all that you can be, you don't want that. So I suggest just a speaker system where you're just listening to someone, and then when you speak, you don't have the earphones on to make you aware of your voice more than maybe what you should. Roger?
Aware of your voice more than maybe what you should. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, that makes sense, and I do appreciate your take on that. And I will definitely look into the system so that I can bring in everything that I should be hearing. That's a great suggestion. I do appreciate it.
Roger, and a couple other things on the 7300 receive. I don't think you want to run in noise reduction. Noise reduction does cast some anomalies on the transmitted signal. It does make it cleaner, but it does add a kind of a reverb to the people's voices that aren't really there. So I suggest in the receive mode not running the noise reduction, and also not running the noise blank, unless you have really severe impulse noise. I would not run the noise blanker or the noise reduction. Roger?
Roger, yeah. I try to do that pretty much all the time. I do turn on the noise reduction. Of course, I've been playing with a little bit of everything on it just to try to see, how it works and what it's affecting and all. And most of the time, I don't run the noise reduction. Every now and then I do if there's a whole lot of noise in a particular band, like I've been noticing on the higher end of 80 meters around here. It helps a little bit, but it does, like you said, it does affect the audio that I am receiving, and I end up having to adjust other things to make out and get a full spectrum of the audio coming to me.
Roger. And that noise blank, if somebody is running fairly good audio level, that noise blank will actually start to distort their voice. I've noticed anyway. So for that reason, I don't I don't have a 7300 now. My Elmer did manage to secure me one for about 3 months, which was just a delight. And I ran that radio mostly in the receive mode. Because it was just such a beautiful receive. I already had a pretty good transmit situation, so I wanted to hear more what the 7300 did as far as receiving, and I think it's just an excellent radio. Roger.
Excellent radio, Roger.
Roger. Well, that's good to hear. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping it. Honestly, hope I don't ever have to buy another radio. To be honest with you, I'd like to get this one working to its best ability and just run with it. So, yeah, and it's a very popular radio. A lot of people are running them. A lot of people are looking for them. A lot of people are running them. A lot of people are looking and got a 2-month-old one for a really good price and couldn't pass it up. So I sold a few things so I could get it real quick, and it's sitting right here with me, and I love it.
Roger, Brandon. All right, sir. Let me say 73 up that way, sir. It's a pleasure talking with you, and I wish you all the luck in the world in your 7300 explorations.